Once Upon a Time podcast, Season 3, Episode 13, Witch Hunt.
Witch hunt? Which hunt?
Witch?
Which witch are we hunting?
In this episode, Robin Hood helps Regina sneak into her castle, and they learn that the intruder is the Wicked Witch of the West. Meanwhile, in Storybrooke, Emma and Regina unite.
Yes.
Who killed my sister?
And I'm your host, Molly Southgate, and with me is...
Martha Southgate.
And...
Rob Southgate. Obviously, you were unamused by our little jokes.
You're not at all amused, are you?
Oh,
No.
I'm not.
No.
This time I'm the one
Which witch is which?
Oh, good one.
Okay, that's funny.
Do you think she eats sandwiches?
Oh, yeah! That's worth
Oh, Mom's working the puns. Okay.
All right, let's start with the
talk.
witch.
This is a big honkin' episode. Lots of stuff in
There were no
this.
cars honking in this episode.
No.
Oh, yeah. Way of being literal, Mom.
The witch sent her monkey
Uh-huh.
to go find
The witch sent her monkey.
Regina,
Yes.
and she said, "No need to be gentle."
Right.
So Regina and her crew are thinking that she says there are tunnels
Yeah.
that run under the
Right.
castle. Does that not, she thinks they can get under the spell. That reminds me of Under the Dome.
But we know on Under the Dome they can't because it's a whole sphere.
Right, but here
it's not.
more of just a dome.
Right.
And then they can get underneath it and get into the castle that way.
And they still don't know at this point who did this.
Right.
Yeah.
No
So-
idea. We
Yeah.
know because we've seen the first scene here with the witch, but
They have no idea.
that little group has no clue. So they're trying to figure out the course of action, and along comes...
A flying monkey.
Oh,
and all
yeah.
of a sudden, Regina, it goes for Ronan,
Oh, yeah.
and then Regina goes over him. I don't know how that would help anything, but she goes over him, and then...
Well, because the monkey
Yeah.
couldn't grab him then.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
He
And
would have
then-
to grab
And then
Regina.
she turned it into a blue toy.
Yeah,
A stuffed
animal.
a stuffed
Stuffed
monkey.
animal. I'm like, how do they know what that is?
That's a good point. They wouldn't have had those back then.
Right. Well, she would have.
Well, they had them in Storybrooke, but
Right.
they wouldn't have had them in the Enchanted
But Ronan
Forest.
wouldn't have known what it
That's
was.
what I mean.
But he probably would.
That's a
he'd
good
know
point,
it was a
Molly.
stuffed toy. But he wouldn't have known it was a carnival one that they got, or one they got
Filled
at the
with
Disney store.
polystyrene balls and things like that, which wouldn't be invented for
Right. They would have had them where they
years.
looked more like the things that Rumpelstiltskin had, which were like
Yeah.
hay ones.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Or probably stuffed with seed, like flaxseed,
Yeah.
things like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
grain.
Dead
of
fish,
some sort.
something like
Ew,
that.
that would
That would
not.
Eyeballs.
smell good.
Oh!
But what we got to...
I think you're scared of eye things too, Dad.
I am. It's because I had that stuffed toy that was full of eyeballs.
It's because
Very
I poke
weird.
you guys with forks in your eyes a lot.
Oh!
Oh!
So, the fact of the matter is, the most important thing in this scene
Uh-huh.
is that we saw Regina protect somebody.
Yes. Well,
She
not just that. She
protected that little
protected
boy
the son of
of
her
her
love.
man. She doesn't know it's her man yet, but it
Nope.
will be. We're counting
You
on
are
it.
you are shipping Regina Hood.
I am
pretty
waiting.
big.
I am waiting for that to happen.
Regina Hood.
Regina Hood,
Mm-hmm.
We don't know her last name, do we?
Queen.
Her first name's... So you're saying her first name's Evil,
Yes.
and her last name's Queen?
Middle name's Regina.
Mm-hmm.
How could I not be the evil queen? It's in my name. Or she's Oliver Queen's daughter. He's the Arrow. He's
Steve
Green Arrow.
McQueen.
Steve McQueen. She doesn't have a Mick before it. Evil McQueen.
Or
That's if she was married to Mayor McCheese.
the one from Cars.
What did I bring on us?
Lightning McQueen.
Yeah, there you go.
Who's named
I never
after
saw-
Steve McQueen.
Yeah, I never saw Cars.
Yeah.
Oh my
All right,
gosh.
can we get back to this show?
So
Yeah.
Belle tells them
For
all
the
about
first time,
Oz.
it's not me who took us off track.
Because once they see the
Uh-huh.
flying monkey,
First time it's me.
Right.
once they see the flying monkey, they get a clue about who's in that
Yeah.
castle.
Right.
And so Belle tells them all about Oz, and they said, "You mean Oz is real?"
Yeah.
And Grumpy
How
says...
can they not realize? I mean, everything that they're running into, all the stories are real.
So Grumpy says, wait a second, east or west? And they said, what does it matter? And he said, you drop a house on one, and one you pour a bucket of water on. And then they look at Regina, I think it was Grumpy, looks at her and says, what'd you do to her? And she says, this time nothing, I've never even met her.
That's like the one time.
But she says, this time.
Right.
This time I didn't do anything, I swear.
Now, Molly, I want to point out here, as we're watching the show, you said it again, just like you did the last time. It's her sister. There's nothing.
I didn't say it last time.
Yeah, you said it in the last episode.
Are you sure?
Yes.
No,
I think that you cheated and read ahead on Netflix.
Did
you didn't watch ahead, but did you read descriptions on Netflix ahead of time?
Oh,
busted. Guilty face. Guilty face.
I'll be happy when we're watching the show as it's currently running because you can't skip ahead.
You'll never know.
You'll never know.
So anyway, the Regina, they're trying to figure out then who she'd have protecting her, and because she's very powerful. Clearly, if she could overthrow Regina's spells and things,
right?
And Regina says, "I don't care if it's the Lollipop Guild protecting her."
The Lollipop Guild.
Yeah. So she's going
what are they
in.
Gonna do?
She's going in no matter what.
Sing at her.
Right.
They could hit her with lollipops.
Oh, yeah, they're going to have lollipops and sing at her, and she's going to run away because it's going to be all cheery and bright.
Maybe they'll lick the lollipops and then stick them in her hair.
Yeah.
And then that would be bad.
That would be no good.
And then they're going to be singing their annoying Santa lollipop, and then she's going to run away.
Annoying. It's a top 10 favorite of mine.
It is mine, too.
We represent
the lollipop.
the Lollipop Guild.
You guys don't have to do voices. You already sound like that, Munchkins.
Yes, we do.
Oh, You're a giant then.
So go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, is this where they go down into the tunnels?
Yeah.
Because when they're in the tunnels...
Well, no, she goes off on her
You just did the
own.
lollipop
Right,
joke.
And she comes across Robin Hood.
Right, and he's there to protect her.
And he's going to help her. And so they go in the tunnels together.
Yes, and there's some playful banter
He
there.
says that he owes her because she saved his son.
Right.
So, yeah. So now you're in your tunnel. Go ahead and talk about your
I thought
tunnel.
this was important because as they're going through the tunnel, they come to this door, and the door's open, and she goes, no way. That can't be. That was sealed with a blood curse. Only I can open one, a blood curse that I cast.
Okay. Before, I just want to mention a conversation that happened before they got to the castle. Regina is kind of calling Robin Hood out on his behavior, and she said, alluding to the fact that he's evil. He does bad things.
Right, because he's a thief.
And she says, she kind of implies that he's dishonest in who he is. He doesn't, she says, at least I own the bad things I do.
Right.
And he's just trying to justify his bad behavior.
Right.
And so that's when they come up and they see that the door was open to the crypt.
Yes. And that's when she says it had a blood curse.
It has
This
blood
can't
magic.
be.
Filled with blood
I
magic.
even knew more then when she said it's a blood curse because it's like, of course, then she's got to be her sister.
Right.
See? You keep calling it out.
Well,
yeah, I do.
Oh, yeah.
So
I do.
they go into the crypt.
I went there.
They go into the crypt.
Yeah.
And is this where she
wait,
gets the potions?
But here's another important relationship.
I'm getting
one.
confused on some of this. Yeah, you're all about the relationship.
Okay.
You talk relationship.
Robin Hood calls Regina out on being a mother. He says here,
Oh, right.
you're a mom.
Yeah, the way
because
you...
you're not. There's no way.
Yeah, the way you protected Ronan.
My son, and the way that you're acting, you're a mom.
Yeah.
And she says,
he says, you're a bad mother. And she goes, shut your mouth.
oh no, that's Shaft.
I'm only talking about Regina.
But she says that she lost him. She
Yeah.
said, I've lost him forever. He's not dead, but he's lost to me forever.
Right.
But I just thought that, once again, this whole storyline is showing Regina's humanity and her redemption.
They're really, really hitting home what a sad character this is at this point. I mean, she is ripped apart that she had to leave Henry. And she had to make that choice. To save him, she had to leave him. And it's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible. And it's not unlike what Emma did originally when she gave Henry up, because she knew that he couldn't be a baby in the prison and she wasn't fit to be a mom, so she had to do that. So she had this horrible
Nobody
weight.
puts baby in a prison.
She had this
Nobody
horrible
puts
weight.
baby in a corner.
And now Regina is living with the exact same guilt, only Emma didn't see Henry. She had the baby and he was taken away, and it was tragic. She had how many years with Henry?
Yeah, 10.
Yeah, crazy.
To be exact.
No, she had 10, yeah, and then Emma had 1.
No, Emma had none. Now she's had 1.
Yeah, so she... Oh,
Right.
never mind.
All right.
Oh, never mind this song.
So Robin and Regina are in the castle, and she's going to make a sleeping curse for herself. Mm-hmm. And he tries to talk her out of it.
Well, wait. When they went in there,
He's the
thought...
only one that could break the curse, though.
They all thought that she was going in there to battle whoever this is.
Mm-hmm.
And when she got in there, she started making this potion, and he's like, wait a minute. What are you doing?
Uh-huh.
And that's when she explains.
And she's like, you can never find rare ingredients like this.
Right. And she says, I'm making a sleeping curse. And he's like, well, what good is that going to do? And then she reveals that it's for herself because she's in so much pain about Henry.
And he's like, who are you going to put to sleep?
Right. That is, once again, very tragic. I felt really bad for Regina in this. And every time he went to stop her, like he pulls a bow on her, she stops it. She freezes him. He starts to walk towards her. He freezes her feet. She's like, you're not fighting somebody you can deal with here.
And they say, this isn't the end. It's an eternal middle.
Yeah.
Because she's just going to go into stasis. Like she's just going to.
She's
And the
gonna
only
sleep.
one who can wake her is Henry, Molly, not Robin Hood.
Henry and Robin.
I don't believe she and Robin Hood are in love enough yet. If she has this curse
Right.
now.
It says
if
true
she
love's
takes-
kiss, but she doesn't know.
They're not in love yet.
Although, wait a minute, you might be wrong.
I am probably wrong.
And I'll tell you why.
Why am I wrong?
Because when Tink took her and she saw Robin Hood with the thing on his hand, she said, this is your true love. So if he is her true love, she may not be aware, he may not be aware until that kiss. So if he were to kiss her when she was asleep, it may wake her up. But she may not be aware of that.
Yeah. Maybe while she's asleep, he'll start to fall in love with her.
Right.
Yeah.
They're saying that the true love is destiny. It's not something that grows.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
So either Henry or Robin Hood theoretically can wake her.
Yes.
But
The boys.
the boys. Rump is not waking her.
okay, so here's what happened.
Here's what happened.
Regina gets the shield down.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Shield's down.
Shield's down. The group goes
Now they
to
can
the
fly their
castle.
X-Wing in and blow it up. Woo-hoo! Come on, Han Solo.
The group goes to the castle, and she's about to give herself the sleeping potion, and the witch stopped her. And what's the witch's name?
Her is Zelena.
Yep.
Zelena,
And
yes.
I love
Cora.
that name.
Now, was that her name in The Wizard of Oz? Not,
Oh,
I
you
know
just
they never
read
said
the
it.
book.
No,
But in the
they never said
remember
her name.
The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, the one about the wizard himself that came out a couple years ago?
Maybe.
Wasn't her name Zelena in that?
Maybe we'll look.
Yeah, I think that's true.
But Zelena says, Cora never told you the truth about us. And then we find out she's her sister.
Yeah,
And Molly
you
was
were
right.
right.
And
Yes.
Zelena's the oldest. So there's more. She also...
Well, the Wicked Witch of the West was her sister, too. Now, is Cora the mom of all of the East, the
sounds
West?
like it.
But would she be I wonder if she would be the mother of Glinda?
I don't know.
Because
No,
isn't
not-
Glinda their sister? And also, there's
no.
got to be... Glinda's from the north. Who's the one from the south?
Right.
Oh, Molly Southgate. That would be who that was.
But
Martha South.
Martha,
I could be.
the Wicked Witch of the South.
No, the wicked.
I'll get you, my pretty.
No,
And a
I'll
bag
get.
of chips, too.
Oh, yeah.
And my leftovers, too.
I love leftovers.
Oh, yes, you do. You just had them for lunch.
So Zelena's the oldest, and she said that Cora sent her away but kept Regina. And Regina said, you were lucky to escape her.
Yeah.
And Regina tells her that both Cora and Rumpelstiltskin are dead. And she's going to take... And then Zelena says she's going to take everything from her.
Right.
And she... Go ahead Oh, she says, wait, our favorite line.
What was
She
it?
said, Regina said to her, go ahead, bring it, Greenie.
Oh yeah, that was the
Regina,
best.
always hilarious.
And
she had that like green oily skin.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I would not want to touch her.
Well, it
No.
kind of reminded me of Rumpelstiltskin's skin, how he's got that scaly,
The
kind of
gold.
goldish skin.
Well,
She's got the green skin.
Regina has a reason to live now because she has someone to destroy.
Yeah.
that was
So Regina,
That's
I
what she
love
needed.
that side of Regina. I
Yes.
love when, and when she's actually against somebody who really deserves to be destroyed.
Right.
Not like when she's destroying good people.
Right,
but-
when she's just destroying Snow White to destroy Snow White, not so good. But here, she is going to be using her evil to battle evil.
And we find out, where is Rumpelstiltskin, Molly?
Oh my gosh, you're going to cut to
He's in a
this?
cage, and guess what? She's training him to be Rumpelstiltskin again.
Oh my
That crazy-
gosh, he's
Yeah.
crazy.
And he's
Although, you
gone-
know what?
He was talking to his food.
Yes. I think that he's got that crazy Rumpelstiltskin in there, but I think that it's channeled at her.
But-
So we'll see if he comes out and he's completely nuts, or if he's able to channel like Regina's channeling it right now.
Well, he says, you feed the madness, and it feeds on you.
Oh, man.
That's what he kept chanting over.
But here's
and
the good
over.
news.
You feed the madness, and it feeds on you.
Here's the good news. Rumpelstiltskin alive.
Hello.
We called it.
I
I
knew
just-
they were. There was no way they were killing
Yeah.
him.
I just don't want him to go nuts and then be away from Belle. I want him to be able to get back to the
Belle-
point that he and
Belle
Belle.
got him back there. Belle
Yeah,
got
but if he's
him-
gone completely nuts,
she
this is
got
more-
him when he was nuts too.
but this is more
She just
than.
needs to kiss him. Remember when his skin was turning regular?
Oh, you
She was
think?
kissing-
Now, is his skin turning color in here? Did you
Yeah.
notice?
I think so.
You think so?
It was turning that color.
Oh boy,
Is he going to turn green?
What? No, not that.
it's not easy being green.
That's the name from the episodes.
Spoiler.
Spoiler.
I wonder if
Hello.
Kermit's in that one.
Oh yeah, he is.
That would be awesome if all of a sudden the Muppets showed up and they'd be like, everybody's human, but why are there these Muppet things walking around?
Uh-huh.
No, I don't think that's
No, you
not
don't
it.
like that?
So back in
What if they were real
Storybrooke-
people?
No.
And then it turned out they were Muppets.
So
Oh, that'd
back
be
in
awesome.
Storybrooke, Emma, David, Snow, and Hook are discussing what happened, and they don't remember ever being in Enchanted Forest except for Hook.
Right.
Mhm.
And Hook said, David asked him, why did you go to Emma? How did you know about Emma? And he said that he had gone and found the Jolly Roger and
Right.
was on his ship, and a
That's the
bird
name of the episodes.
and
Yep.
a bird left him a note on his ship with the potion and
Oh.
an order to find Emma and bring her back to Storybrooke.
Now, this was funny. When they said that, they're like, well, who sent it? And they go, well, Prince Charming says to Snow White, well, a bird delivering a note. That kind of sounds like you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But she doesn't remember doing it.
No. And you know what? I don't know if it's going to be her.
It could be.
I wonder how the potion got there and who did it.
It's a good guy.
It could. Well, yeah,
It's
but
not
you know
the
what?
witch.
It could be Regina. Because whatever happened here, whatever craziness we're going to see unfold, there
It
could have
be
been a
Rumple.
point. It could have been Rumple
Well,
also.
or it depends on how fast he got put in the cage.
It could have been a point where she or Rump sent that knowing that he wasn't there.
Or Snow.
Right. And only had enough to make potion enough for one person.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, we've seen Rumpelstiltskin do this a lot, where he's set a lot of stuff in motion. So even though he's trapped right now and he's in this thing, he could have set this stuff in motion knowing, okay, she's going to unleash the curse. They're going to trap me. If I put this in motion,
Mm-hmm.
I will eventually get out. She will be defeated, all because I sent this thing to Hook.
Absolutely.
So we'll see. Oh, I'm so excited to see what happens.
So we got to see who did that. And so Henry and Emma are in the restaurant.
Okay,
Or they're
this
in
is
the
another
diner.
hard scene.
And well, first it's not.
Okay.
But he's sitting in the restaurant, and Ruby is waiting on him, and everyone is trying to not let him know they know him. And
Right, because he thinks he's there for a bounty.
yeah.
That it's her job, but they're all like, "Oh, hi,
Well, and
little boy."
do you remember Ruby put cinnamon on his breakfast, and
Yeah.
he said, "How did you know about the cinnamon?"
and she's like, oh, just a lucky guess.
Yeah, she's like, you look like someone who likes cinnamon or something.
Yeah.
And but Henry's too smart for that.
Yeah.
And he keeps looking at him like
he's trying to figure out what in the heck is going on.
Something's not adding
We
up.
didn't talk
for
about
him.
the best part of the whole entire episode.
Give it to
Okay.
us.
Snow said that she was cellmates with.
That's coming up.
My gosh, was this
I
hilarious.
I laughed so
I get to
freaking
say
hard.
it.
Okay,
Well, so first,
let me set you up.
yeah,
So Emma tells him that because Snow White and did Prince Charming come in, or was it
Yes.
just Snow? So Snow and David come in, and Emma tells Henry that she and Snow White were cellmates. Okay,
Right.
so like we're supposed to picture.
well, yeah, because he's like,
No,
how do you
no,
know
no.
each other? And she's like, yeah,
Snow
we-
says that.
right,
Snow says,
Okay.
cellmates.
Okay,
And he said, and Henry said to her, what were you in there for? She says, burglary.
no, better, banditry.
banditry,
Yeah.
Because she's a bandit, and he just stared at her because nobody uses that phrase
banditry,
except Boompa, except for Molly's grandpa.
right. But
He
the
uses
best,
that term. He says there are bandits running around.
the best when they said it was the
I-
look on Emma's face.
Priceless.
She's trying not to laugh. She's trying not to look
And
up
it's like,
at him.
I'm like, yeah, if I was Henry, I would not believe that. 'Cause
Oh my gosh,
it's this-
banditry.
Yeah, it's this nice pregnant woman talking to him, like, oh, yeah.
She does not look like anyone who's ever been in trouble. And so it's very funny. And Emma's just trying not to look at anybody because I mean, wouldn't you die laughing if you
Oh my gosh.
made eye contact with anyone after hearing banditry? I died. I
So
laughed
funny.
so hard. You're right, Molly. That was really one of the funniest parts of the.
So then Regina's standing there.
And she dropped. They hear a glass
Well,
shatter.
because think about it. They haven't seen Regina. She
Right.
doesn't know Henry's
They
in
didn't
town.
tell her yet.
And she turns around and there's Henry. I mean, when we think about what we've been seeing in this episode, this is a year later. She was that torn up a year ago. Imagine how she feels.
And
she just freaks.
So she drops what she was holding, and it shatters on the
So
ground.
with that family, they drop things.
They
Yeah.
do,
don't eat
and
things.
when they're startled or
Right.
stunned.
And they leave their food.
Oh, they do, but
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
think they did in this episode. So Emma takes her out of the room to explain it to her,
Right.
and Regina swore that she did not cast this curse.
Yeah, she's like, well, and she makes perfect sense. She says, think about how I'm feeling. Why would I cast a curse that would put me back in with Henry where he wouldn't know who I am?
Molly,
That's like the worst torture
Do you
ever.
remember what Regina said about I cast curses?
I cast curses to hurt other people. I don't cast curses to hurt myself.
Right.
Exactly. Could you?
And that is
she's-
exactly right.
So that's when Emma knows for a fact that Regina's telling the truth.
Right.
Because there is no good reason for her to have cast this. It doesn't benefit her in any way to have cast this spell.
And Emma's using her superpowers that we've seen her use before, which is she can tell when somebody's lying.
So first, we're in the woods with Robin Hood and the Merry Men, and Little John has a crossbow, and
He stole Granny's.
and
Right? He stole Granny's crossbow, and he's like, they're like, where'd you get this? He goes, oh, a store.
Oh no,
They're like,
he didn't.
you stole it. Oh, no, I got it at a store.
So he was hunting a wild turkey.
Yeah, I thought they were in the other land.
Yeah,
Right,
I
at
did
first
too.
I did
At
too.
first,
I thought they
But then-
looted everybody's clothes and stuff because they got the wind.
But then I noticed that they were wearing the more modern clothes. And I'm like, okay, that's right. They're all here.
No,
But
I
they're
thought
all out in the woods because that's what they do, right?
I thought they were out in the woods because
Oh, you mean back in
the thing.
The
I thought
Enchanted
they
Forest.
looted everybody's stuff because
Yeah.
everything was falling over.
Sure, I can see that.
So he's hunting the wild turkey, and what happens?
He gets close to the line because the wild turkey goes over the line.
Yeah, he goes chasing after it, and he goes close to the line. And what happens right then?
Flying monkey comes and takes him.
Yes. And they said earlier, people are missing. Something is happening to the people here, and they didn't know what was up. Now we know the flying monkeys are coming and taking people.
Because
They're taking the doors.
They keep missing people. But
Yeah.
all over Storybrooke, people are going missing. And Emma puts David and the merry men on the case while she goes to hold a town meeting. And what happens at the town meeting? Grumpy accuses who of the curse?
Regina.
Henry, because he's terrible.
No.
No?
He accuses Regina of putting the curse back on him.
Well, yeah, because she did it before, and they're like, this doesn't make any sense. The only person who's ever pulled this off is you, and Rumpelstiltskin's not there anymore. So, public enemy number one, Regina.
Okay, now Emma agrees with him.
Right.
And stuff.
And she no longer believes Regina, and then Regina gets mad and shakes the building
Yeah, it
with
starts
an
like
earthquake.
an earthquake.
She's like, you want me to be the evil queen? Well, I'm gonna be it and stuff.
And
Yeah.
then she disappears in a puff of purple smoke.
And then they stop the meeting, and Emma goes, and she's walking with her. This is so hysterical.
Yeah.
So, do you think it worked?
Right.
Okay, so Molly,
So it was a setup.
did you ever? I fully believed that. I kept thinking, oh my gosh, no, Emma.
Yeah.
She's
I couldn't figure
not
out why
bad.
Emma was flipping. I'm like, that doesn't make sense, but I
it kind
believed
of
it.
did. I believed it,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. They're in Regina's office, and they're actually working together, and I love it. I
Yeah.
love their chemistry.
What I love that.
I love
I
when
loved
they're
it
together.
when the memory potion didn't work.
Yes.
And Regina threw it at the wall.
Yeah.
And Emma says, either the potion didn't work, or you've had some bad experiences with that wall the past year.
All right.
Yes.
But I love when Emma said about them working together, no one is going to believe that we are working together.
Right.
Like, this is impossible.
Absolutely.
So it's perfect. It's perfect cover.
And they're working, trying to recreate this potion because they want to give it to Henry, especially.
Right.
But if they could wake up most of the
They can
people in
figure out who did
Storybrooke, they
this.
can find out who did it. But first and foremost, Regina's doing it so that Henry remembers
Right.
her.
Right.
But
Even if Regina could take it and remember, that might unlock a lot of what's happened.
but they can't get it replicated. Regina's so frustrated. And so Emma decides, let's try to use a con.
Oh, I loved it when they're doing it. And then she's like, it's the best James Bond thing.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, Regina says, I know just who to tell.
Right.
And who did they tell?
Grumpy, hey everybody!
Yeah, immediately. Immediately goes telling everybody.
Uh-huh.
So they, what were they going to
That's the me of Storybrooke.
Exactly,
Yes.
the town crier. So what they were going to do is get someone from the town. They were going to tell them that they knew who did the curse, and that would then, whoever they told would go tell everyone in the town,
Right.
and it would freak out the person who did it and think,
Right.
oh, they're on to me, and that would draw them out.
Right.
And that would draw them to their place, and guess what? You saw the things gone, and they were out in the stakeout. This was the best.
Oh, when they were having
Oh,
the
the
stakeout.
stakeout was hysterical, and Regina's like, I don't get this.
Yeah, is this what you do?
And it's like, ew, why do you do? And
I sit and wait and eat
and
and watch, and she's like, ew.
I know she just did not like it
And
at all.
talk.
And Regina asked Emma if Henry had any friends in New York, and she said yes, and she said, well, then why would you come back here if your life was so good? And she said, I came back because Henry would say a hero would always come back.
Right.
And they found the one in Regina's office.
Yeah, and they went up there, but everything was smashed, and they kind of saw shit. Then they saw, like, this cloaked figure.
Yeah, and then it went,
puff of smoke,
Yes.
just like Regina.
yes.
So I want to talk about a scene that there were two things that we didn't discuss yet,
Okay.
because I wanted to sort of flesh out that Regina
Yeah, well,
and Emma.
this was a hard episode because so much happened. We kind of have to go in order to fill it in.
So one of my favorite scenes is Snow White sitting in the diner reading a book about baby care.
Oh, yeah. She's like, did you...
Oh.
She was reading it to Henry, and she's like, did you know babies can have, like, this thing? It's a...
Cradle cap.
Yeah.
Cradle cap, and she's like, it's a yellow crust they got on their heads.
Yeah.
She's kind of freaking out because she's never been a mom before because Emma was taken.
Right.
So she never got to go through this stage.
She never had to see that yellow
And
crap
Henry's
on her head.
just sitting there on his video game, and she said, do you want me to take you to the library? And, she said, I know you like to read. And he said, how do you know I like to read? And she's like, oh, I think your mom might have mentioned it, so he's really catching on that these people know a little too much about him.
Things are filling in there, for sure.
And, so, the witch is sitting there. Zelina is sitting there.
Now, she's been sitting there and nobody knows who she is.
And nobody else is in there.
Yeah.
And it's just Snow and Zelina.
And she tells Snow White that she's a midwife.
Right. She said, I was nobody back in the Enchanted Forest. I was just, just one of the townspeople. I wasn't famous like you. I was a midwife. And Snow's like, finally, somebody can help me.
So now what? Is she going to steal this baby? Is she going to hurt the baby?
Oh, she's going to do something.
She's going to do something really bad.
What about the baby?
What about the baby?
So I'm freaking out. And then on another side point,
this time we're serious.
Yeah,
they found
about the baby?
Little John unconscious.
Uh-huh.
So the monkey actually returned him.
Now wait. I have a question about this.
Yeah.
Because it's not clear. So Little John is knocked out. He's got a bite on his shoulder. They take him to the hospital. They start to do something to him, and a tail pops out, and then he shakes, and boom!
He's having a
flying
seizure.
monkey.
Yeah.
Now here's my question.
Yeah.
Did he turn into a flying
Did he
monkey?
turn into a flying monkey, or...
Which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Well, see, because if we think about Walsh, who was with Emma, that was a flying monkey disguised as Walsh,
right.
and did that. Was this the flying monkey disguising himself as Little John to get in there?
I thought he turned into a monkey.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Too.
It could be either.
Because the tail got out, and he was still shaking.
Right. But that's because they went to inject him or whatever, and he had to get out of there. Oh. I'm wondering if they turn into flying monkeys, or if that's how the flying monkeys are disguised, meaning that Little John could be trapped somewhere still.
We got to find out.
And I wonder if they have to kill Zelina, if that's the case.
All the monkeys might be freed back into their human form. Right,
and they start turning into human form. I wonder.
Yeah. So Emma gets to introduce Henry to Regina, and she's trying to be cool. She's trying not to be overly creepy.
Yeah.
And she does ask him, she says, though, that she would like to take him out for ice cream sometime.
Yeah.
And
he's like, why would you take me out for ice cream? She's like,
just to show you around town.
I'm just being nice.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
very awkward.
I'm glad that she's able to have contact, though. That it's not one of these, like, I just can't have it, and they keep her at a distance, because I think that would be harder for her. As hard as this is, at least she's getting to talk to him a little bit.
Yes.
She
gets to see him. And so David and Hook come back, and they tell Emma, Regina, and Snow about the monkeys, and Emma guesses that it's the Wicked Witch of the West because of the stories. And then Emma's sitting there and she goes, seriously?
Yeah, right.
Really? Now we got this isn't weird enough.
Yeah,
now we've got Wizard of Oz.
Now we've got flying monkeys and this going on.
And the witch. So, a fantastic episode. I absolutely thought this was...
Now wait, you didn't say the thing that happened here.
Wait, I didn't
also.
What's your funny line?
Evil Dorothy's gonna be there now.
Evil Dorothy?
Oh, don't spoil. I don't know about that. So here's we already touched on it, but I do want to say it's at the end here when Regina finds out that she is the sister of Zelina. Like we talked about it earlier, but it's right here at the end. So the whole time we never really knew. Molly, you were guessing, but we really didn't know what was going on. And when she tells her, Regina is like shocked. Like she can't even believe this. And when you see the two of them together, it's like oil and water. There is no way these two get along in any way. I want to know about Cora. Is Cora really gone?
Yeah.
You know,
we can't have that many evils. It's like two Coras.
We know Cora was in Wonderland because we watched Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. Now, was that past Korra or present Korra? Where does that fit into this? Because the other thing we know is coming up in the 4th season
that was past Korra.
We don't know that for sure, because the Knave of Hearts is going to be in the 4th season. So we don't know how that fits in. And
That's
you know what?
present Korra.
I was thinking about this with the Knave of Hearts. He doesn't get along with Robin Hood so well. Remember? He was one of the merry men, and they had a parting of ways. This could get ugly when he shows up. As much as we love that character, this could be a problem for him, for Regina, for Robin Hood.
But guess what? Then we have two angry, goofy people here.
You know what? We've had them before. We had Korra, Regina, and Rumpelstiltskin all at once.
Well, they weren't goofy. She's talking about...
Oh, goofy, funny.
I'm talking about,
Will Scarlet.
Regina and Will Scarlet.
Yes.
Regina's got the best lines ever.
She does.
I bet her and Will Scarlet compared are going to make this whole show just turn into a comedy.
Just hilarious, yeah, because they're both so funny. Well,
and
okay.
Angry.
Well, we got to go watch it.
Is that it? Are we done?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get ready for the next episode. Thank you for listening, everybody. You can find past episodes of this and all of our podcasts, as well as links to our social media at our website, which is
www.southgatemediagroup.com.
You can also...
And that's a com.
Yes. You can also reach us via email at southgatemediagroup@gmail.com. And write us your theories, your thoughts on this stuff, any questions you may have. We are leading up to the 4th season, and we're going to be doing that. We're going to be live tweeting during the shows, and then we're going to be doing the podcast each week. So it's getting exciting, and, share this with your friends.
This is the first time we'll be current.
Yeah, we'll be current for the first time.
Yeah, we've never seen
like us on iTunes, rate us, review us. That really helps. Stitcher also helps. I think that's it. Oh, find us on Facebook too. Join our Facebook group. We're already in communication with people. Oh, that brings up one more thing I wanted to say. I want to thank one of our followers on Facebook who's a listener, Aaron, who wrote in and clarified something for us.
What?
We keep talking about when Rumpelstiltskin knew, and we have ideas on it and theories, but Erin actually wrote into us and tried to clarify, and I think we understand it now.
She did a very good job.
She did. She did a great job. It's just whether we can understand it. So the way she wrote it is, Rumpelstiltskin didn't know, it wasn't until Regina came into town that it woke him up.
No, Emma.
Emma came into town. See, I got it wrong. But when Emma came into town, it woke him up. That's when he realized who he was. So that makes a lot of sense. And the other part of this that we've been talking about a lot is all the stuff in Mr. Gold's shop.
Yes.
And now we know that all that stuff did come through with them, but not with them.
Yes.
So, like, if Grumpy showed up, his axe wasn't next to him.
They couldn't pack.
Right.
And
his
have their
axe was
suitcase with them.
somewhere in Storybook.
Just like the Jolly Roger.
Yes.
Hook said,
it's somewhere.
everything, because Hook is the one who clarified that part. In this episode, he said, or it might have been he said, all of our stuff comes with us, but we don't know where it is in the Enchanted Forest.
Right.
So he said, I've got to go wander around to find the Jolly Roger.
Right. So now we understand the stuff.
But I thought the Jolly Roger is broken.
Well, he could fix
He didn't
it
know
then.
if it was broken.
But what that tells us, though, is that Rumple could have gone around and collected stuff up and kept it and not.
But
that's
according
how
to
it got in
Aaron,
his store.
that is how it got in there, but he didn't know that's what all this stuff was until he woke up.
Right.
So, Aaron, thank you so much for clarifying. Now, I think I gripped that a lot better.
Absolutely.
And now we understand the stuff. So, thank you. And anyone else with questions or theories or insights that might help us, please send us an email. Write to it on Facebook. Send us messages on Twitter. That does it. Thank you again for listening, everybody. Now let's end this the way every great fairy tale ends.
Happily ever after.
The
end.
If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, southgatemediagroup.com, and click on the donate button. It can be as little as $1 or, well, as much as you want. Help keep this fun going by supporting this and our other shows.
Thanks again for listening, everyone. You're the best fans in the world.